Okay, we're nearing the end of the year, and what I always do at this time of year is to do my goal planning for the year ahead. I and my family head up to Byron Bay at this time of year every year. We've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years now, and I use that time while I've got a bit of downtime, a bit of relaxation time, to actually just spend time thinking about what I want to happen in the year to come, and then I do a process inside my Notion dashboard, but you can do it wherever you want, but I use Notion to do this process to actually plan out the areas I want to be working on, the goals, and then the tasks and projects that are going to be attached to those goals and to those areas. So what I thought I would do today is to just walk you through what that process looks like for me. It's a process I'm going to be doing this week or next week when we head up to Byron Bay. So I thought it was a timely moment to be making this video and sharing the process with you for anyone who's interested. So I'm going to jump over here. Now, this is the template that I use personally myself, and this is actually included in my Notion template, in the complete productivity system template. You can see we've got the goals and planning page down here, and I sell this on my website. So if you do want to grab this template, then go for it. Otherwise, you can steal some ideas from this video and create your own, or you could just use a piece of paper and do the same sort of thing, or do it in a Canva document or whatever you want. So you don't actually need to have the this Notion template, but if you want to grab it, then it's there. It also comes in my daily planner template as well. So I think that's called Daily Hub. So you can find it in either of those. So anyway, goals and planning, and the steps that we are going to move through are exactly the same, whether or not you use my Notion dashboard or not. There's 3 core areas, it's sort of like a hierarchy, I guess. So the first level of the hierarchy is my areas. So the big sort of pillars, I guess, of my life that I want to be working on. These images have nothing to do with me. These are the images that I've just dropped in for fun into the template that people purchase. And I'll walk you through how I sort of come up with that vision board and the other process that I use using Pinterest, which I've got open to show you as well. So the areas, the vision board, that's sort of like the visual representation of the different areas that I want to be working on in the year across my life and across my business. So generally these actually are the ones that I do have personally myself. So they're the ones that are included in the template, but sometimes I'll add other ones, or sometimes I'll take something out if something's not such a big focus for the year, but generally these are the ones that I focus on. So that's the areas level. Next level down is the goals. So this is where I sort of think, okay, across my business, what are the things that I want to be working on? What are the main goals that I want to have for the coming year? So again, these are just example ones. They're not my ones. And you would have your own different things in here. But for example, it could be to build your community, or to improve the experience that you're offering your customers or your clients. Or it could be to get better at content creation, or to be more consistent with content creation. Or it could be to grow your Instagram page, or things like that. Now, when I'm thinking about goal setting, what I like to try and do is to not attach it any longer to specific numbers. So you can see here finances X amount of dollars in 2023. That's just an example. And I have often in the past done something like, I'd like to make X amount of money in the coming year. That's sort of out of my control. What is in my control is, for example, I am going to try and generate X number of leads in the months, and then those leads are going to lead to business, which is going to cause that sort of money to come in the door, if that makes sense. Maybe that's not a good example. Something like growing an Instagram community to 1,000 people. I personally don't create goals like that any longer. Instead, I'd rather say something like, I would like to post to Instagram every single day, or I will post to Instagram every single day, and my goal is to be consistent with that. So consistently posting daily to Instagram. The result of doing that action and having that goal is that you probably would get to your 1,000 subscribers or your 1,000 followers on Instagram. So instead of attaching it to a number, which is sort of out of your control, the thing that is in your control is whether you actually post every day to Instagram. So when I'm thinking about setting goals, that's the sort of mindset that I use for my goal creation process. So that's definitely something that I would sort of suggest you think about as well with your goal setting. So that's that level of the goals and planning sort of process. And then the third level down is the tasks. So in the tasks area, and this is a task database that I've got inside my Notion template, you can see that every task is actually attached to a goal and an area. So what this means is that when you're setting tasks, when you're creating projects, when you're assigning tasks that help you to achieve these goals, you are actually making sure that your goals are going to get achieved. So for example, with Build My Community, you might think, okay, well, what are the steps I'm going to be taking this year to actually build my community? It might be what we were just talking about, posting every single day to Instagram. It might be creating YouTube videos so that you can grow your community. It might be that you're going to send a weekly newsletter. So what are the actual projects? What are the actual tasks that you're going to be doing to reach that goal? So that's what you need to be thinking about. And if you are putting tasks onto your task database and into your tasks every day that do not match up with any of the goals that you have set yourself, then either I suggest you have the wrong goals, or you need to be thinking about whether the things you're working on each day are actually helping you to progress the things that you have told yourself that you are interested in and that you are wanting to be working on. So that's why I like this system so much, because I can literally look down the list, and this again isn't my list, this is just a pretend list that I've got inside the database here, inside the template for everybody, but you can look down the list and just make sure that you've got tasks that are on there that are associated with your goals and with the areas that you want to be working on. So that's the sort of overview of the system. Inside here, I also have a couple of other things. I've got a what's on by quarter. This is something that will automatically populate once you add in tasks and assign those to the quarter. So this is just a good way of you being able to see and plan your workload, if you like. So you can just move these around. If you think that, Q4 is looking a little bit busy, you can actually just move that copywriting course and you'd be like, might take that in Q1 instead of Q4 or whatever it might be. So that's the way that I like to use this what's on by quarter, because it means that you can sort of visually see that your year is planned out in a way that's going to be manageable for you and that you're going to be able to get everything done. You'll also obviously have a whole bunch of tasks that are just ongoing, just things that are not related to a quarter. They'll happen all the time throughout the year. So meditating each day or taking your medication or whatever other tasks might appear on your list that are just ongoing tasks that are not related to any specific quarter. So that's what that one means. And then monthly reviews, that's a sort of monthly process that I would do every single month. I've talked about that in other places and it's not related to my goal setting, so I'm not going to repeat myself here with that one. I have other videos on Notion on my YouTube channel here that you can check out if you want to know more about that monthly review process. And then this is just a place where you can park other goals. So if you come up with a whole bunch of goals or other areas and you think, you know what, this is just all becoming a little bit not achievable for the year, there's too much going on, I'm trying to do too much, then I would suggest you limit down the number of goals that you have for the moment and you actually park some of those down in this future goals and projects area. That way you're not going to forget the idea, you can let it just sort of think, you can just be thinking about it in the back of your mind, and then you can come back to these goals once you've sort of ticked off some of these other ones that are perhaps higher priority for you at the moment. So that's what the future goals and projects. And if you're using Canva or if you're using other methods or a piece of paper to do any of this process, then you can just have an area in your notebook that has your future goals and projects area to park some of your ideas. So that's basically the system. In terms of physically how I would go about doing this, the first thing I do is to just sit down and start with the areas. So I start thinking, okay, what are the actual areas that I want to be working on for the coming year? So something I like to do to create this sort of vision board and stuff is to use Pinterest. So I would just go into Pinterest, and here is a vision board. In fact, if I show you, let's have a look here. You can see that here each year I do sort of a vision board for each of the years, and this is just an example one from 2020 where I just sit and go through Pinterest and just, here's the sort of home feed, and I might just type in things so I'll know what my areas are. I will have picked off what my areas are, and I'll be thinking, okay, what are the things that I want to be achieving in fitness, for example. So you'll see in my vision board there was a lot of fitness stuff. So it was like that year in 2020 I was trying to get my pull-ups, and so there was lots of pictures of, strong girls doing pull-ups. I was trying to sort of change my body composition, so I had sort of pictures of women in their similar ages to me who look a lot better than me, who have enviable bodies that I could aim for. Home renovation stuff. We were thinking about going to Europe, but at the moment it's just like a ridiculously expensive thing to do, so we decided not to do that year. I was trying to eat a bit healthier. There's some more renovation stuff, putting in a pool, anyway, whatever it is. So I just started to sort of pin stuff based on these particular areas. And as you can see, what happens when you do that is that there's a bit of a theme that starts to come through. I thought I wanted a Porsche, but we changed our mind and bought a Tesla instead. And just all different things that were really important to me, or just were things that I was trying to work on. So that's what I use Pinterest for. So yeah, just go into Pinterest, just come up and just start searching, whatever the things are that you might be. So fit women in 40s or whatever it might be. And then you can start to save some of those to a new board that you create. So generally I create my boards and then I usually make them secret, as you can see, which you can do in a setting in Pinterest. And I just keep them secret because generally I don't put them on display like I have just done to the whole world on YouTube, because generally they're private to me, but I'm not really that worried about sharing this stuff with you. And then, I just pin stuff so that it's not public and I can just sort of keep it private and just keep that board running. Then what you can do is, say you decided that you wanted to, use this picture as an image in your template here in Notion. What you can do is just save the picture and save it to your computer. So I'll just put it down on my desktop. And then what we can do is you can just come in and say that was a new category. I can just click a new category for home renovation, and I can give that an icon, give it maybe a little house. And then what I can do is just drag that picture on. That would be attached to a goal that I would need to create, which I haven't done yet. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then as you can see in a second, that should come up. There it is, home renovation. So then with the goals, this doesn't link automatically. So you would then add the home renovation area, home renovation. There it is. You can link it. And then you can add, renovate bathroom, or whatever the goal might be for that. Renovate bathroom. So that might be the goal to get done during that year if you weren't renovating the whole house. I'm just using this as an example. So let's just, I don't want to add a cover, so we'll just remove the cover. But I don't want a filing cabinet. We could have, just the house again, or you could have a bathroom, let's say shower, you can use that. So then you can see down here, that's how I add a new goal. So that's a brand new area added in and a brand new goal added in, as you can see. So these two, I didn't think they do, but these two databases do talk to each other. So this is a relation to this other database above, and they both talk to each other. And then if you had a task, you could add in, so you'd think, okay, so what am I going to need to do for renovating this bathroom? And you can think, okay, well, the first step is to find an architect. Find an architect, let's just say that would be the first thing. That wouldn't necessarily be the first thing, but just for the sake of that. So you would do, maybe a phone. So find architect, because you're going to call the architect on the phone and talk to them about your thing. How long would that take? That would take maybe, I don't know, under an hour to find the architect, call them, make contact. Let's say you want to do that on whatever date. Then you can do adding in that for, let's say, Q4. And then you would add that to the goal of, where it is, there it is, renovate bathroom, and it automatically links to your home renovation area. So that's how my system works, and it works really well. I love this system and it works so well. I'm just going to delete that because I don't need that in there. But that's basically how my process works. And if you are using paper or other methods or a notebook, then just think about how you could actually piece together this system yourself. Or as I said, this whole template's available in my shop as part of my full productivity system Notion template, or it's also in my daily hub template as well. So either of those, and I've got a thing where I walk you through how to use it and all of that sort of thing. But that's the actual process, because I've never really walked you through that. So first step is that I will just sit down and I'll think through, okay, what are the core pillar areas that I want to be working on in the upcoming year? And then I would think, okay, which are the goals that I want to set myself? And I try not to set those goals that are unachievable, or not unachievable, but not attached to what I can control. So getting 1,000 Instagram followers is not something I can control. It's based on the algorithm and a whole bunch of things. But what I can control is I'm going to post every day to Instagram. So that would be my goal. And I try not to have more than, I don't know, 3 or 4 under each of the areas, because I think it just becomes way too overwhelming otherwise. So focus on just a couple of goals in each area. And then once you've ticked those off, then you can maybe come down to your future goals and projects and you can reassess. So I do a reassessment process every few months on my goals and projects and areas, and just make sure that everything's on track and what's been achieved. And maybe some goals, like, you later on think, actually, I don't want to do that at all. So you just get rid of that goal altogether rather than just feel guilty that you're not doing it. So yeah, it's a constant reassessment process. And that's how my system works. So that I thought just might be helpful to just show you. I just need to come back. There we go. So I just thought it would just be helpful to show you how I work through that process and what I do to do my goals planning for the coming year. As I said, I'm going to be doing that myself over the coming weeks. I like to try and get it done before the end of the year so that I can start the year fresh and just knowing what's going on. And if you want to grab those Notion templates, if they're of interest to you, then I'll put the link to those down in the description below. Otherwise, there's lots of other videos about this sort of thing on my channel here, so definitely subscribe if this sort of thing's of interest to you. Check out some of my other videos, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye for now.